Hey everyone, this is MusicTechHelpGuy, and welcome to part 15 of my Logic Pro 10 201 course. In this video, I'll show you how you can comp your vocal recordings, or really any audio recording, using a function in Logic called quick swipe comping. Now, comping, or comp, comes from the word composite, and comping essentially means you're creating a composite take out of multiple takes. Before I get started, I just want to let you all know that the session content for this course is now available for purchase. There's a link to download this in the video description below. The session content contains 3 versions of the project. There's one where the vocals haven't been comped yet, so you can use this for part 15 to practice comping and editing. There's a second version where the vocals have been comped, but haven't been tuned yet. You can use this for parts 16 and 17 to practice vocal tuning and flex time corrections. And then there's a third version that's fully comped and tuned. You can use this for parts 18 through 21 to practice mixing and mastering. When I made this course, I did it in Logic 10.4.3, so make sure to upgrade to this version or higher if you want to guarantee that the project files work correctly. Thank you in advance if you purchase this. It really helps me out and helps keep the channel running. So in the last video, we ended up with a bunch of chorus takes, a bunch of takes for both of our verses, and some harmonies. So just for now, I'm gonna mute the harmonies and the chorus vocal, double click on my first verse here, and I'm gonna set a cycle range around the area that I wanna play back, the first verse. And typically what I do is I start by selecting one of the better full takes, and then I add to that take or remove from that take. And as you can see, at some points we just punched in the second half. At some points we recorded the whole thing. Now when we tracked this, the first several takes were pretty bad. She was just kind of warming up, getting used to the song, but there were some little vocal inflections down in here that I do want to use. So I'm gonna mostly stay on the top, probably 5 or 6 takes up here. So let's give this very last take a listen and see what it sounds like.
Tell me that you see it. Can you feel it? Can you hear it call your name? It's a broken world alone. We got kids with no shelter, lies from our leaders, pain from the sky to the sea. Death with no freedom, hearts with no heroes. Baby, it's just you and me.
So the first half isn't too bad. The second half, you can tell she's just not very confident in singing it. So what you can do with quick swipe comping is you can drag over one of these gray unused takes. So let's say that I just wanted to use this section right here. You can do that, and what it does is it punches the section that you select up into the top take. So the very top take up here is the take that's actually being used. That's the composite take. So that's what's really cool about quick swipe comping, is it makes it really easy to very quickly construct a composite take out of multiple takes, even to the point where if there's just like one word that you want to punch in, you can punch in just that one word. So we're going to go through this. I'm not going to show everything. I don't want you to have to sit and listen to all 16 takes with me, but typically what I do is I start from the beginning. Like I said, I choose one of the better takes, usually one of the last takes, and I'll sit and move my cycle range around. I do this phrase by phrase, and I'll find good takes for each phrase. And like I said, if you have a singer that's singing their own music and they've performed this song live multiple times, they're typically going to be really confident with it. You can get away with doing, like, I've had vocalists in doing 2 and 3 takes, and it was fine. You know, just 2 takes was fine, and I just go back and forth and choose which of the 2 I like out of the 2. But, you know, with this, you know, she had to learn the song last minute. She wasn't super comfortable with it, so we're going to comp her vocals and take the best elements of all of her takes and put them together.
Tell me that you see it. Can you feel it?
So then if I swipe over this one here, I can give this one a listen.
Tell me that you see it. Can you feel it?
So I kind of like the can you and this one a little bit better. And once you've made a selection, you can just click on each take to jump to that take. It'll remember the boundaries, and note that it also crossfades those edit points.
Tell me that you see it. Can you feel it? Tell me that you see it. Can you feel it? Tell me that you see it. Can you feel it?
So that's a pretty good one.
Tell me that you see it. Can you feel it? Can you hear it?
So it sounds like she's singing more confidently here. I know these ones are probably not any good. So I'm going to go with the first part here. And then let's give this part a listen.
Tell me that you see it. Can you feel it?
Yeah, she's a little behind timing-wise.
Tell me that you see it. Can you feel it?
I like that little bit of vibrato on you. Can you feel it?
Tell me that you see it. Can you feel it?
The feel it's a little out of tune though, so let's just try punching and feel it.
Tell me that you.
And what I do is I drag the cycle range over so I don't have to keep listening to the first part of the take again.
Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel it?
That one's pretty strong. It's kind of straight, but it's sung a lot more confidently than the others.
Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel it?
Another thing you can do is if you're trying to work real fast, you can put this just on a loop, and you can just loop it over and over again and jump around with your different composite takes.
Can you feel it? 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 Can you feel it?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with, I think, this one.
Can you feel it?
So then on to the next phrase. I'm just creating another little cycle selection here.
Can you hear it call your name? It's a.
Yeah, that one's, I mean, she's in tune, but she just doesn't sound confident.
Can you hear it call your name? It's a. Can you hear it call your name? It's. Can you hear it call your name? It's a broke. Can you hear it call your name? Can you hear it call your name? Can you hear it call your name? It's a broke.
That one's nice. So if you end up with the two boundaries like right next to each other, you'll just see this line. If you just click on it and drag, it'll get rid of it. So it'll recognize this is all one clip that doesn't need a crossfade or anything.
Can you hear it call your name? It's a broken.
I like the hear it call your name.
Can you hear it call your name? It's.
Just the can you part I'm not so sure about.
Can you hear it?
So when you try to join sections that are like within a word or like a waveform that's joined by the phrase or by the word, it can get kind of tricky. They may not always line up perfectly or sound right.
Can you hear? Can you hear? Can you hear? Can you hear it call?
I like this can you. Can you? It's just really precise. Can you?
Can you hear it call? Can you hear it call? Can you hear?
Let's try some of the top ones.
Can you hear? Can you hear? Can you hear it?
Yeah, and some of them just don't match up.
Can you hear it call your name? It's a broken world alone.
And actually that last phrase is not bad.
Broken world alone.
I did something on one of the bottom takes. I'll show you in a minute, but I think this top one's gonna be the best take overall.
Broken world, a broken world alone.
Yeah, she did that and a couple of them.
Broken world, a broken world alone. Broken world, a broken world alone.
Well, you know, here she's singing a little more open. You can hear it in her voice. There's less of kind of like a restricted nasal sound. It's a little bit more open.
Broken world, a broken world alone. Broken world, a broken world alone.
Still like this one the most. Let's get on to the bottom here. Now this was the very first take I did. I was still adjusting the preamp level. So if I use this take, I'm gonna have to adjust the gain in the region inspector a bit.
Broken world, a broken world alone.
Yeah, I like this last phrase, the way she sung that.
Broken world, a broken world alone. Broken world, a broken world alone.
Let's try just this. But then I'll use this part of that one. Let's see what that sounds like.
It's a broken world alone. It's a broken world alone.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. That last phrase needs to come down a couple dB. One thing you can do is if you can click right here, what this will do is it'll allow you to actually cut and edit the different takes. Because when you have it on this mode, all you can do is use quick swipe comping. You can't use the scissors tool and cut things up or move them around or edit them at all. So if you click on that, go down to that take, select it. I believe in the region inspector, we can pull the gain down a little bit. Now it's going to pull the gain down for the whole clip, but it's going to match it up a little bit better with the other material in the composite take up here. And I'm absolutely certain I'm not going to use anything else from that first take, so it doesn't really matter that I'm pulling the gain down. Okay, so let's listen to that whole take of that whole first section, first phrase of the first verse.
Tell me that you see it. Can you feel it? Can you hear it call your name? It's a broken world alone.
That first part.
Tell me that you see it.
That could be better. It just sounds like a little whiny.
Tell me that you see it. Can you feel it?
The last take's pretty good.
Tell me that you see it. Can you feel it? Tell me that you see it. Tell me that you see it. Can you?
Yeah, down here I was having her try to sing it softer, but it just didn't sound good. I kind of like the front end of this one, but I kind of like the tail end of this one. Let's see if we can take the front end from here and then mix that with the tail end of this take here.
Tell me that you see it. Can you feel it? Can you hear it? Tell me that you see it. Can you feel it? Can you hear it call your name? It's a broken world alone.
Cool. Let's do the second phrase. As I mentioned in the last video, I used the quick punch option to punch in the second phrase a couple times, just because she was singing it more confidently when we isolated it from the first half.
We got kids with no shelter, lies from our leaders, pain from the sky to the sea.
Yeah, definitely don't want to use this one. Let's try this one.
We got kids with no shelter, lies from our leaders, pain from the sky to the sea.
Parts of that were better, but still kind of rough.
We got kids with no shelter, lies from our leaders, pain from the sky to the sea. We got kids with no shelter. We got kids with no shelter, lies from our leaders, pain from the skies to the sea.
Wrong words.
We got kids with no shelter. We got kids with no shelter, lies from our leaders, pain from the sky to the sea.
Yeah, that one's a lot better. There's still some weirdness in here. Let's see if I can find a better middle phrase, but then use take 9 as the main take.
We got kids with no shelter. We got kids with no shelter. We got kids with no shelter, lies from our leaders. We got kids with no shelter. We got kids with no shelter, lies from our leaders.
Yeah, I'll use 9, but then I'll use the word shelter from take 5. There we go. And see how it doesn't quite line up? We can fix that if we go into editing mode. So I'll click here, grab my scissors tool, come down to that take. And I'm not sure which one's more in time. One's probably behind and one's probably ahead.
We got kids with no shelter, lies from our leaders.
Yeah, this one's probably actually ahead. So I'm gonna cut it.
We got kids with no We got kids with no shelter, lies from our leaders.
And this one's probably a little ahead, so I'll pull that back.
We got kids with no shelter, lies from our leaders.
So then what I can do is go back, turn off the editing mode. I can reposition the edit points.
We got kids with no shelter, lies from our leaders. Paint from the sky to the sea.
I really like how she's saying this part right here.
Paint from the sky to the sea.
That little extra sky, sky to the sea. This part right here, I'm not sure if we're gonna find a better take or not. But let's go through a few and see what we hear.
Lies from our leaders. Lies from our leaders. Lies from our leaders. Lies from our leaders. Lies from our leaders.
Yeah, none of those are great. Let's go up to the top here.
Lies from our leaders.
That's better.
Lies from our leaders. Lies from our leaders.
That one's really flat.
Lies from our leaders.
These ones don't look like they're gonna sound really any good.
Lies from our leaders.
Yeah, I'll go with this take of 16. And then this very last phrase, like I said, I'm gonna stick with, was it 9? Yeah, I'm gonna stick with 9 for that one.
Paint from the sky to the sea.
I am gonna just pull this out a bit.
Paint from the sky to the sea.
I wonder if just the first couple words, pain from the...
Paint from the sky to the sea. Paint from the sky.
Yeah, this one, she just comes in a lot stronger on the word pain. So I'll keep that one instead.
Paint from the sky to the sea.
And then the very last phrase.
Death with no freedom, hearts with no heroes. Baby, it's just you and me.
I think that's take 9. Yeah, let's go up to the top here. Let's try the very last take.
Death with no freedom, hearts with no heroes. Baby, it's just you and me.
Yeah, kind of weak.
Death with no freedom, hearts with no heroes. Baby, it's just you and me. Death with no freedom, hearts with no heroes. Baby, it's just you and me. Death with no freedom, hearts with no heroes. Baby, it's just you and me. Death with no freedom.
Let's give the whole verse one listen through all together. And then what I'll do is I'll do the chorus and the second verse off screen, and we'll talk about the harmonies in just a moment.
Tell me that you see it. Can you feel it? Can you hear it call your name? It's a broken world alone. We got kids with no shelter, lies from our leaders, pain from the sky to the sea. Death with no freedom, hearts with no heroes. Baby, it's just you and me.
Okay, so off screen, I comped the second verse and the chorus. Let's take a listen to the second verse first. There's a lot of timing issues with almost all of the takes here, so I tried to pick the ones that had the best inflection and the best pitch, and we'll go back and correct the timing later.
It's just a tragedy. You want it all, but you can't break free. You're losing time when you're wasting lives. Your karma's on the line. We got kids with no future, lies from our leaders, pain from the sky to the sea. A world torn asunder with hate for our brothers. Baby, it's just you and me.
And then for the chorus, I actually created 2 different composite takes. It didn't require nearly as many edits as the verses did. So basically what it did is I went through, made one comp, and then I duplicated the track and duplicated the take folder down. You can do that just by clicking and dragging while holding Option, just like any other audio region. And then I went in and I built a separate take out of different takes, making sure not to duplicate any of the takes. And then I just pan this left and right to give it a little bit of space. And this is just going to give the chorus a bit more width and space.
Please tell me how, when all the world is lost, we're losing ground. There's no way out, there's no way back to salvation. We're losing ground.
Now I'm probably going to want to go through with flex time and line up one of the vocals to the other just so they're not so out of time, but I tried to pick the ones that were closest in time to each other. And the last thing is these harmonies. We kind of just threw these on at the end. They're actually going to go here, here, and here, but we only did them once because it's the same line. We're losing ground. The top one is sort of like a third above.
We're losing ground.
The second one is like an octave above in falsetto.
We're losing ground.
And then the last one is just kind of like something she thought of.
Losing ground.
Just kind of stretching on that note. So I'm not sure if I'm going to use this one or not. What I am going to do is I'm going to duplicate each one of these. So I'll call this harmony third left. Duplicate it. Duplicate the clip. By the way, if you're not in a snap mode, if you just hold shift, it'll automatically lock your duplicated region in place. So it'll keep its timing so it doesn't go out of time with the other one. We'll call this harmony third right. And we'll choose two of these. The timing may not be right. The tuning may be a little off, but we'll correct all of that using flex time and flex pitch later. So let's just listen to all of these together.
Lost, we're losing ground.
Yeah, you hear the harmonies go a lot further past the main melody there. Let's see if I can choose this one instead. It's a little shorter.
Lost, we're losing ground.
And I'm going to go with this one right here. This one we already used. So let's go with this one for the last word, just so it doesn't drag out so long. So again, just choosing two different takes for each of these.
Lost, we're losing ground.
And we'll go in and correct that later. So off screen, I duplicated the octave harmony and chose takes for all of the harmonies. So let's give this a listen.
We're losing ground.
Now, the timing doesn't line up yet. That's okay. Like I said, we'll go back in with flex time and line them up with the leads. But what I'm going to do now is duplicate these over to all the other sections. So I'm going to turn on my bar snap, make sure I'm on relative value, hold Option, and drag these over to each of these sections.
We're losing ground.
Now for the top two that are thirds, you'll notice that the other phrases are a bit longer, the second two. I just wanted the first phrase to be a little shorter here. So we could probably go with a longer take, yeah, like the original there. The top take's plenty long. Let's pull that out. Actually, for this one, there we go. Let's just do that. So I'm choosing different takes for the harmonies as well, based on the length of the section above it.
We're losing ground.
So they're not tuned up, or I haven't fixed the timing yet, but let's listen to that chorus.
Please tell me how, when all the world is lost, we're losing ground. There's no way out, there's no way back to salvation. We're losing ground. Please tell
So that's pretty much it for comping the vocals and quick swipe comping. In the next video, I'm going to use flex time and flex pitch to correct the timings and also correct the tuning of the vocals. And then after that, we'll use flex pitch again to create some vocal harmonies artificially in addition to the ones that she sang in. So just a reminder that you can purchase the session content for this course via the link in the video description below if you'd like to work along with the last 7 tutorials in this course, or you can just use it to practice mixing. As always, you can check me out on social media at Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and if you'd like to make a monthly donation to the channel, you can check me out on Patreon as well. Thanks for the support, and thanks for watching.